This is from All Dogs 24/7. He says that Georgia will have a wide receiver that goes for over 1,000 yards receiving on the year. So I saw this, thought it was interesting, did some digging on this. Georgia hasn't had a wide receiver go over 1,000 yards, in my understanding, but one time. And that was Terrence Edwards in the early 2000s. Shout out Tight End Wide Receiver Academy. He trains guys in the Atlanta area, does a great job. My answer to this is I could see it. I could see it because Georgia, you look up and down the roster, got a lot of playmakers from a Dominic Lovett, Oscar Delp, if you use him like you did, Brock Bowers, I suppose he could be a guy in that discussion. Colby Young, Dillon Bell, I'm extremely high on this show. London Humphreys, you hear good things about. And you pair that with the idea and the thought that Carson Beck, in his second year in the system, they're going to cut him loose. Right? Like they're going to let Carson cook, and that's a good thing for all parties because right around that Kentucky game when they started to let him have a little bit more reins when it came to the offense, like he was balling. Right? He was throwing the ball all around the yard. So there's that part of it. But the reason why I'm slow to jump on board with this is I just named a lot of different playmakers for Georgia that I think are going to touch the football. So there's already a lot of mouths to feed. But then you pair with that the idea that this running back room also needs to eat. From a Trevor Etienne to a Roderick Robinson. Last year, Georgia was a 52% time run the football team. Like that is, I believe, who they want to be at their core. They want to pound the rock, and they want to hit you over the top as well with their stud quarterback and their playmakers. I feel like if this is going to happen, I would lean towards Dominic Lovett being the guy. Also a guy that's year 2 in the system, transferred over from Missouri last year. He had about 600-plus yards at his first year in the system in Athens. I don't think he would have had quite that many yards had Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers stayed healthy. So I could see him in year 2 having a ton of success, but again, I just think there's too many mouths to feed. I think there's too many guys that need to see the football for that to be the case. So that's the bad news, but the good news, I would say, is that I think Georgia will still have one of the best offenses in America. Like, the good news is I don't think you need a receiver to go over 1,000 yards for the first time since Terrence Edwards to accomplish all your goals. I think the beautiful part about Georgia's offense is it will be balanced. You don't know who it's going to be any given week. It's like, hey, is it Dom Lovett this week? Is it Oscar Delp this week? Is Dillon Bell this week playing running back for some reason? I mean, is he back in that Deebo Samuel kind of mold again? Like, I don't know. And the fact that you can keep defenses guessing because of all those weapons and you got a quarterback that can make it all go, that's to me what makes Georgia so scary. So 1,000 yards, I'd probably lean more towards like 3 guys having over 500 yards. I'm going to go ahead and sell on this shot that you're calling, but if you're right, we will revisit it and we will give you your flowers, All Dogs 24/7. But if there is someone that goes over 1K on the year, I think it's Dom Lovett. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.